live show. I wouldn't want to signal
Good
that to
day,
everyone.
Internet.
Hi, Internet.
Hello,
All
Internet.
right. Do I, by the way, when you say hello at the beginning, do I jump in and say hello too or not?
You can if you want, but right now I have.
I'll wait
Hey, what
till
happened
you
to my
introduce
introduction? Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong show.
Yeah, it's there, line 19.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll introduce ourselves. We'll thank the patrons. Then Sarah will welcome everyone to the show and introduce you, David.
Thank you, Sarah.
And
Well,
still
I am
producer,
glad
host
to
of the
do it.
CISO series.
Yes, I am still. Nobody's demoted me yet. Literally.
And yeah,
You had a stern conversation with yourself about that, but you ended up passing. So
Yes.
And real quick, CISOseries.com. You want to plug at the end?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Perfect.
And also, we should plug that you're one of the reporters.
Yes. Which
Yeah.
By the way, let me give you some kudos. I just came from Black Hat. People love headlines. Love it.
Oh, good.
They love it. They love
Yeah.
headlines.
Well, that's great.
Cyber people,
Yeah.
that is.
I did 3 shows today instead of 1, and boy, are my arms tired. but no, it's really fun. It's
Yay.
it's a fun show
That's
to
great.
do. Yes. So just, for our purposes, hey, everybody, you get to hear some inside baseball. We will go through some show titles. We will pick one. We will thank folks that need to be thanked. Tom's going to plug Tom Top 5, and will take us out and jury with us on Monday.
All right.
And
So
guess
then
what,
when
Tom?
When the show's over, is there any post-show anything, or is just we all say
no, this is it right here. Look at Tudo. Tudo giving us super chat for watching CISO series earlier today.
Yay!
nice.
Thank you, Tudo.
By the way,
Cool.
you can take off X.com DSpark. I don't.
Oh,
I stopped that a long
got it.
time ago. Yeah. Just
All right.
take it off.
What I was going to say, Tom, is that I don't know if you know what day it is, but it is Friday, so you read the credits.
Whoa, I knew. I was like, it's National Spam Musubi Day.
That is
But-
it?
Yeah, it is.
Like, who
fact-
does that?
Wait.
Ralph's.
Oh,
Like they make it in the sushi.
There's a
Okay.
coupon in the
They
app
don't
for a
make
free
it.
Spam Musubi at Ralph's today
they make spam.
Wait, where do you get this coupon?
in the Ralph's app.
See, I'm so. You know what? I'm not even near a Ralph's.
Or you can find the Ralph's truck that's going around giving away free Spam Musubi, which
the
is what
one
Eileen
thing-
was going to try to do if she could get 7 to take a nap.
You're nowhere near a Ralph's.
I'm not near a Ralph's.
What do you-
I'm near a
you-
Rayleigh's, but
You
not
got a
near
Rayleigh's.
Ralph's.
What about a Vaughn's? Well,
There are
that's
no
not a
Vaughn's
Ralph's
up
thing.
this side.
We have a Vaughn,
There's a
a
Safeway.
Ralph's, and a Stater Bros. And
Oh, I love
a,
Stater Bros.
Trader Joe's all near us. All four.
Stater Bros is a little far for us, but I still love it.
Trader Joe's is
I
still
don't
by
know
90.
Cedar
Good
Bros.
prices. Good prices. They just struck their union deal too, if that's a concern
know.
for any.
I'm a big fan of Sprouts, because I'm an organic hippie.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, the Ralph's that's near me, I've talked about it before, one of the biggest Ralph's I've ever been in. And really, like, if you're just like, I just want to go to one place and get everything.
Get everything, yeah.
That's the place.
It's a supermarket, you might say.
It is a supermarket. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 goes to Erewhon
Wow.
with his
Like, do
dog
they-
walker. The dog walker takes them to Erewhon.
Huh.
Not inside, but just to this. It's this shopping center where there's lots of space so that they can walk them around and have them, be tested by distractions and stuff. But they always take a picture in front of the Erewhon.
Does
I mean,
Erewhon
Erewhon
do
is-
samples
if-
or
The name of
anything?
your dog.
If money is no option,
Yeah,
Erewhon is
sure.
great.
Yeah.
But, oh, man.
The samples are
Anyways.
expensive.
There's only two ways to be in a position where money is no object. One, you're dead, or two,
But then you're not going to Erewhon.
you're minted. Exactly.
Depends on what's in your will.
No, I guess
I,
that's true.
I will be laid up in Erewhon for my memorial for 3 days.
I remember
Put me
some
in the
years
region of
ago,
the
there was an
hellfire.
Erewhon, I think it's still there, in Venice, which was, walkable from my house. So I was like, yay, fun, like a organic grocery store. And I went in, I was like, they have like some good things, but it's sort of a weird store. A lot of pre-packaged foods, which is, for some people, that's exactly what they're looking for. But I was like, you don't really have like a meat section. Anyway, a friend of mine came in to visit, And I was like, oh, go to Erewhon, you'll love it, because it was kind of her,
Yeah.
her lane. And she was like, Sarah, I mean, it was like tofu and rice for $16.
Yeah.
I
And
got
I'm like,
tofu
yeah, it's
and
kind
rice
of the deal.
for like
And she was
nothing
like, that's
because my mom made it
I
for lunch.
even I can't do that.
You don't go to Erewhon to save money. You go to
No.
Erewhon to see a celebrity in a baseball cap buying a smoothie.
But what kind of tofu and what kind of rice?
I don't even know. It's
Because if it's just like
prepackaged.
cow rose rice and just like your generic like supermarket,
I don't
tofu-
care what kind of rice it is. That's too
2-minute
expensive.
warning. 2 minutes.
By the way, I just got back from Las Vegas where I had myself a $10 slice of pizza.
And
And it tasted like $1 million.
Like maybe a $3 slice.
Was it like a New York slice?
yeah, like what
No,
kind
Or
of
was
pizza
it
are
like
we
a
talking about?
Domino's
It was a Las
slice?
Vegas slice.
It was in between New York and Domino's. It wasn't
Yeah.
as bad as Domino's.
Unless
not
you're
as
getting
good.
deep dish.
And I was
every
staying at the
can
New
of
York,
pizza is
New
about the
York.
same.
I was staying at the New York hotel, and they couldn't.
Oh, you think
do-
they'd like make a
Did they-
point of
wait,
having
does
a
that-
piece of pizza?
They have
But
3 slice pizza joints in the New York hotel.
okay, that makes
Different
sense.
Locations in the hotel. 3 of them.
And none of them do well, or like they can't do a New York
I
slice.
ate
bet
from
they do
2 of them, and they were
perfectly
both
fine.
okay. Nothing
I ate
great.
pizza out of a vending machine in the Las Vegas Convention Center one year.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
It wasn't bad.
By the way, that's where they're
setting
doing-
your expectations low for pizza out of a vending machine. I'm like, yeah,
Was it like
meets
a
them.
Red
It meets
Baron's
my
like a little
expectations.
circular thing?
1 minute.
Or is it
like
a
Yeah,
Buongiorno.
no, it was square. It was like kind of the square.
like junior high?
It all
Yeah.
also depends on like when did that pizza get into the heater?
Immediately,
if it-
you
when
see it get taken out of the cold storage and put in the heater, and it's heated immediately.
And how long
Oh,
does it take?
so it's not something that's like on a rotating thing where
No,
you're just like,
no, no,
I'll
no.
take your.
It's not like-
No, it's
You're
all
part-
it's all
you're
stored. I don't know if it's
you're part of the
frozen
deal.
or just refrigerated, but it's all stored
Already
in
said.
cold storage, and then it slides over into the, and you see it get cooked, so you know it's
okay.
getting heated.
Yeah, that is not like the 7-Eleven pizza I used to eat in college, where
Those are slices.
who even knows? Who even knows how long
4
that's
hours.
been in the
4
heater?
hours. They got to change it.
But
after 4 hours.
sometimes you just
It's so
do it.
messy the way the pizza rolls on the hot dog rounder. too.
Pizza rolls.
Never did like a pizza roll.
What about a pizza bagel?
Oh, those are good. Yeah.
Have a good show, everybody.
Good day, Internet. This is DTNS Live for Friday, August 8th, 2025. From Studio Animal House, I'm Sarah Lane.
From Studio 7 in Los Angeles, I'm Tom Merritt.
Drawing the top tech stories from Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Len Peralta.
I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
DTNS Live is made possible by you. Thanks to all of you, including Erwin Sturr, Ken Hayes, Philip Shane, and everybody welcome brand new patrons, Ahmad, HDR, another Sarah, Shunky, and Giaula. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for becoming patrons.
Yay. Oh my goodness.
HDR.
We are on such a roll of new patrons, and we thank you one and all for being part of the group. And welcome to everyone to DTNS Live, the show where we discuss the tech news to help us all understand it as we go through it together. We're also joined today by David Spark, producer and host of the CISO series. Welcome back, David.
I am thrilled to be here, and it's kind of the regular stint, the post Black Hat or post RSA show. I love, or the Friday after.
Yeah, yeah. It's
we've been
become our
doing this for
tradition. I love it.
years.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled to be back again.
Fantastic.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about everything that you saw and you took notes from at Black Hat. But yeah, otherwise, David, you do a lot of traveling these days. How do you manage all that?
Well, it's next month will be a lot. I actually have live shows. If anyone are in these cities, Los Angeles, Boca Raton, Florida, or Houston, we will be doing live shows of the CISO series podcast there in September. So come see us.
Oh, very cool.
That's so cool.
Very cool. Well, if you're watching
On tour.
us live, you can help name this episode. Everyone who does this already knows what to do. But if you're new, head on over to dtns.showbot.tv to submit titles and vote on them as we go through stories within the show. We will check back in on the votes at the end of the show, and we will crown a winner. The winner of Friday. All right. Everyone's like, Well, we don't have one yet, but we're going to have one later.
I can't wait.
Let's kick it off now with a few tech stories, which we promised that caught our eye.
Yeah, let go of my eye story. This one's a good one too. YouTube channel TechIt decided to literally manually, one at a time with their own hands, test Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 folding and unfolding. They did it 200,000 times.
Oh my
It was a
gosh.
days-long live stream. When they got to every 6 or 10,000 folds the phone would reboot just randomly. At about 75,000 folds, a black liquid began to leak from the hinge. At 175,000 folds, the speakers stopped working, as did the headphone jack. And after 200,000, the folding mechanism was still smooth and it could still hold its position at any angle.
So 200,000 times sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
In regular use, how far would you go before you would get into some of these problems?
I don't know. Samsung rates this for 500,000 folds. I can't imagine this would be less than like 5 years worth of folds.
Yeah.
Let's say you open it 10 times a day.
That's
You know,
3,000.
Think about the number of times a
360
human
phone.
unlocks a phone in a given day.
Yeah. Yeah, but you've
Could be
got
a
the
lot
cover
more
screen.
than 10. A lot
So you don't have to unfold it every time you unlock it.
So let's say 50.
That's actually true. Yeah, you wouldn't have
But
to unfold
let's
it
say-
for a lot of stuff during the
No,
day.
but let's say 20,000. That's roughly 25.
That's still 10 years.
yeah. That's still pretty good.
Nobody holds on to a phone for 10 years.
Yeah. So now, granted, the rebooting thing probably not going to be a big deal for you because you're not refolding and unfolding in a row like that. So you might not even notice. But the black liquid leaking out was a little disturbing.
That is
Right.
But it still works. It's like,
But in
well, I guess
regular
that liquid
use,
was not
You have
useful.
10 years.
It was
Yeah.
stripping oil.
10 years. And then you can use it for art
Take
or something.
it to the Jiffy Lube. See if they can.
Well, Google is coming for Yahoo Finance. The company's revamping Google Finance with new AI features, of course, because that's what everybody's doing these days, advanced charting tools, more market data, and a live news feed. Users can now ask more complex finance questions and get AI-generated answers along with links. It's rolling out in the US in the coming weeks.
Yeah, this is really trying to, I think, remind people that Google Finance exists. I know it has some users, but
By the way, this is my first knowing it. I didn't know it even
Yeah.
existed.
yeah. So adding
It's
a
been
adding a
around for a
chatbot to
while.
it will get people to at least go look at it. You know.
Well, and one of the, I think, interesting things about Yahoo changing over the years is that Yahoo Finance is still a very specific platform, which a lot of people use and, on a daily basis. So Google Finance eating into some of that is smart for them.
I'd be curious of the folks who use these kinds of tools. Like, I need to keep up on my stocks and my investments. What do you use? Do you just look at CNBC.com or do you use Yahoo Finance or is there something else? Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com.
Speaking of Google, to make astronaut healthcare independent of Earth, NASA is collaborating with Google to develop the Crew Medical Officer Digital Assistant. Running on Google Cloud's Vertex AI platform, the CMODA, not the emergency medical hologram from Voyager, will be used to diagnose and treat patients when no doctor is available and communication with Earth is unavailable, specifically on longer duration missions. Which, if you take out like we can't reach Earth, might imply a long journey somewhere to another
Oh yeah,
planet.
everybody wants to go to Mars, so you need this kind of thing. Will it start by saying, "Please state the nature of the medical emergency"?
I was kind of hoping, but that might be a little too inside baseball for non-American crews.
No one outside of America watches Star Trek.
What if you go to Neptune? Then what happens?
Well, then you don't come back because Neptune is a giant
It's
ball
really, really
of
cold.
of
Okay.
water and ice. Although I think it rains diamonds once you get past the initial layer.
How
of atmosphere.
accurate is this before we entrust our astronauts' health to it? That's the question.
They're
I have.
starting out, so we won't know until they start regularly start its development. But it could be kind of cool. I mean, well, they actually did a trial one, and what they did was they tested with 3 basic injuries. They had a ankle injury, a side injury, and I think I forgot what the third one was, but it had a 75% efficacy
right,
rate.
that's not
In other
bad.
words, so it's in the ballpark. It's better than me going through my parents' old like symptoms and diagnosis books that I got with my Time Life subscription.
I would imagine so.
Well, those were 3 tech stories that caught our eye today. So yesterday we talked about OpenAI's newest model, GPT-5. We were kind of, Roger and Tom and I were just like checking it out. Roger got access, Tom and I didn't. I now do have that within ChatGPT. But the whole idea is that OpenAI says this is a better performing model. Your mileage may vary, though. OpenAI is also hiring its older AI models, which some users say they prefer and would like to just have options to, include GPT-5, but not only have that as an option. Previously, ChatGPT could tap into different AI models. So you got GPT 4.0, O3, O4 Mini, GPT 4.1, GPT 4.5. Now, it's just GPT-5. OpenAI may not have anticipated some users' affection for those older GPTs, or maybe they just don't care. One Reddit user wrote, "Everything that made ChatGPT actually useful for my workflow, deleted." You're always going to get that. You're always going to get that one Reddit user, but a lot of people may have the same sentiments. OpenAI says ChatGPT is superior, but depending on what you're using it for, some people say, no, it isn't. It's a downgrade.
Well, so the idea is that GPT-5 will use the kind of model appropriate to the query without you having to think about which model you're choosing. But you've trained a bunch of people to think, whether it's true or not, that they have found the right model. And so anytime you take something away from a user, you are likely to hear them complain, even if it's for their own good. And so that's what's happening here.
And also, people do not like change.
And people do not like change.
There's
absolutely.
never been a time that like an app has been changed and everyone said, great, I was so annoyed with that last version.
Yeah. And Sam Altman posted at midnight last night that they're going to let Plus users continue to use 4.0 and that they will watch usage as we think about how long to offer legacy models for. That's I guess he decided that 4.0 might have been the one that had a case for being better than 5, but he's still saying 5 is better than all the rest of them. You don't want to use the older ones. And I think the idea is right, which is I don't want to have to think about which model to choose. I just want to ask the question and have it answer it well. And so far, since I finally got GPT-5 too, I used it for a couple things this morning that I use every day, and it was faster. I don't know that it was better, but it was faster.
I kind of noticed that as well. As I was doing daily tech headlines, I always run, what my summary is through ChatGPT. Just like, is there any way I can, eradicate a sentence or just kind of just make this more concise? Just, for my purposes, but also the people that are listening later, without losing any information. And I did feel like it was very snappy, but I have always felt that it was very snappy. And sometimes I kind of look at it and I go, yeah, I get what you're doing here, but no, I like my version better. So yeah, I don't really put anything ChatGPT or anything that OpenAI is offering people to the test more than really kind of journalistic writing. Which we all do, obviously, but I know people use it for lots of other reasons. So if anyone out there is like, oh, here's why it's better, or here's why it's very much not better, we'd love to know.
I used it this morning, and for the most part, it felt the same, except that the answers were a little snappier. Basically, it just took a lot. It took a lot less time to get my.
So same as Sarah and I. You noticed it be a little faster on the response.
But in terms of quality, I couldn't say, because maybe I'm asking super esoteric questions about real estate that maybe most people don't ask. But it was essentially because I was asking the same.
So you
questions
couldn't
I was-
tell, basically. Yeah.
By the way,
David, have you used GPT-5 yet?
I have not used GPT-5, but I'm always amazed at the speed this is going and the desire to retire old versions. Imagine if any other software moved at this speed and wanted to retire old version, quote, old 6 months ago or a year ago, as fast as ChatGPT does.
It's
And
just
that
a
is
feature
amazing.
upgrade, right? Like,
Right.
I think lots of products retire old features this fast. There's constant software updates, but
That
we
does happen,
have
and
the
I've
choice
seen-
to continue to use the old software in a lot of cases and not update. Whereas this being a web service, you don't.
Yeah, that part is a little, for the for the folks, I mentioned the one Reddit user who was like, everything is ruined. I have to start from scratch. If you somehow are using a model that has been, I don't know, downgraded or denigrated, whatever, and now you don't have access to this, and maybe you have to build a workflow for yourself again, I can see where that would be super annoying. For me, I'm sort of like, oh, there's an update. Great. All right, let's see what you got.
Well, the
But
argument
again,
OpenAI
it very
is
much
making-
depends on what you're doing.
The argument OpenAI is making is that you don't have to change your workflow. We just gave you a better model. It's
Well-
it's the same workflow. You put the stuff in there, your chips still work, all of that stuff, but you don't have to think about choosing the right one in the drop-down menu.
So I guess the folks that are complaining about this say that GPT-5 used in ChatGPT is not better, at least for
Well,
them, at least for
I
what
mean,
they're doing.
This is the way I see it, and maybe it's a very a limited viewpoint. But to me, it seems like what you do when you update your browser, right? There's some patches, security updates, maybe some new features I don't really use, so it feels like the same thing. But it's improved in certain aspects that a lot of people I think would benefit from, even though although you're not aware of it immediately.
I mean, I'm using Chrome right now to go through StreamYard, which is how we're streaming live. I would say probably once a day, maybe once every 2 days at the most. Chrome is like, do you want to finish the update? I could go in there and figure out, what like the minutia of the update is. But normally I'm like, yeah, finish the update. Not right now, because then I would get bounced out of StreamYard. But that is something that we're all very used to in lots of software applications that we use in life.
But you choose to
You do.
upgrade,
You do.
right? That's the difference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Does anyone, let me ask you, anyone here Windows computers or you all Mac?
Windows.
Windows,
Yeah,
okay.
both.
When the computer reboots and asks you to update something, like on the point of reboot, like, do you always skip it? Because I always do. I when you start, you turn on your computer, you immediately want to get into whatever the heck you want.
Yeah,
Last
right.
thing you wanna
No, I'm
do
the
is-
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think
always
I've ever said, yes, let's delay whatever the heck I'm working on right now.
But I definitely have had software where I could tell they changed things in the background that I didn't know about. But because I didn't know about it, I didn't complain. And as long as it worked better, then I was like, oh, this got better. I think maybe the problem here is everyone knows OpenAI is doing it because they labeled everything.
I mean, as long as it doesn't work worse, right? If I'm doing
Well,
something,
and that's what Sarah was saying, though. Some people are saying it
Some
works
people
worse.
say it's not as good as
I will.
the
I mean,
workflow that I had going on.
like I still use Yahoo Mail, and when they did the interface update, it really grated me because everything was in a different spot. Although after using it for a month, 2 months, it's like, yeah, it's a little better. Like I can
That's
do
how
things-
it always works.
Yeah, and like
You
it's a lot
you
quicker.
finally
There's
figure
certain
it
things,
out.
but people, especially when you wake up in the morning and half of what you do is muscle memory. It's like, why am I clicking on this space and that thing that normally happens doesn't happen?
Yeah.
I want it to happen. And
I love it when I walk into my kitchen and everything's in a different place and I had nothing to do with it. And then as soon as I get used to the new way of doing it, it changes again.
Do you really love that?
No, it's never
You was
actually
thinking
happened,
it
but I imagine
shows.
I would not love it. You're right.
No, I mean, I definitely, it hasn't happened very recently, but and I am on iOS, so I'm using an iPhone, but every once in a while, one of the apps that I use on a daily basis will change their icon. And at first I'm upset about it. I'm like, it doesn't even look like anything that I've ever seen before. Does this even need to be on my home screen? In 1 week, I'm like, I don't even remember being mad anymore. But I think that when it comes to something like GPT-5, because it is so much less about looking like something and more about information, and for many people, their livelihoods at this point, I think that people they have a point that if there's less choice, then that's not good. Not everybody cares about that. I personally don't care. I'm like, all right, GPT-5, let's do it.
I'm guessing most people saying it's worse are having a placebo effect of some sort, where it's not actually worse. It's just the typical variability of these tools, which aren't always consistent, and that they're blaming it on the fact that it's 5.
Well, I think the metaphor you offered of just changing everything in your kitchen,
yeah,
it's perfectly good. It's all different, and then different is not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People hate change.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially folks who are like, I want all my, like, the user interface is what I think most people get annoyed with when it
and this is
changes.
essentially a user interface change, because instead of choices in your drop down, you now only have one thing in your, or two, depending.
All right, let's move on to radio. Okay. People say for decades, I've been saying for decades rather, that podcasts are the new radio. And for some people they are, but we have some new data that shows that might actually be true.
Yeah, thanks to OpenBio for highlighting this one on our subreddit. Edison Research has been tracking people's listening behavior for about 11 years and notes that podcast listening has grown across all age groups in that time, but grown the most among people aged 18 to 29. In 2014, when they started tracking that demo, 18 to 29-year-olds listened to radio 7 times more often than they listen to podcasts. That's the year we started Daily Tech News Show, as a matter of fact. Now, because of us, it's tied. Or maybe not because of us, but
No,
it's definitely tied.
take full credit for this, Tom.
Each thing, podcasting or AM FM radio, takes up 14% of the daily listening time of the average 18 to 29-year-old. Basically, streaming music takes up the most of the other 72%, either YouTube or Spotify or something like that. Edison notes that most of the streaming music, though, is ad-free because people are paying for services like Spotify or Apple Music. They take away the ads, or even YouTube Premium. And so for advertisers, if you want to reach people through audio ads, podcasting now equals AM/FM radio as a platform.
That's impressive. I think that's
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I know one reaction is like, really? 14% of 18 to 29-year-olds listen to AM/FM radio still?
Well, that's always like my kids who are not yet in that age group yet, but they don't know from radio. I mean, I don't think they've ever turned on a radio in their life at all. So like that option isn't even aware. They're not even aware of.
Yeah, and they survey 13 plus, and they were clearly like 18 to 29 has this. They didn't give me yet. Got to pay if you want to get the 13 to 18-year-old numbers.
But I mean, here's another thing I always kind of point out to people considering podcast advertising, and that is in most cases, and I will ask the three of you as well, people do not listen to it when they're working. And so much of advertising, I know in our world, in cybersecurity, the sort of the B2B advertising, is trying to hit people when they're like consuming the media when they're working.
In
people
work
listen
mode.
to this, they describe, driving, working out, going for a walk, whatever. They're not working. It's a good time to get them.
Yeah. No, that is the sweet spot that, some people say, oh no, I listen to you while I'm working. But for me, if I listen to any podcasts that I really, really enjoy while I'm like cranking on my own work, can't be done. It's like somebody talking into my ear where I'm like, please later. I can't. Let's do this later.
Your brain can't take essentially two sort of text inputs at the same time, whether it's written or audio,
Totally.
You just can't handle it.
I mean,
Some
I can't
people
even listen
do,
to
though. I
music
can't
with
Those
lyrics
people
when I'm
are
working.
operating
Some
on a
people
different
can.
level than us. I can't function on that level.
They've got two brains.
Well, those are the people who also like listen to podcasts at 3x speed.
I
which
do
I'll
that.
Understand. You do,
But I can't do
3x?
that while I'm working.
Can you do 3x?
I do 3x.
All right.
I don't comprehend them as well as I do at 2x, but I get more in. And then I'll often like slow them down or rewind if I'm
What
like,
I
actually
don't
really
understand
need
is when people listen to comedy podcasts where they're telling jokes. I'm like, you do understand that.
That's true. I'm only listening to
enjoy it.
informational stuff.
The 2 or 3 second beat was part of the comedy routine. I mean,
Stormy
going
Sooner
back to
listens to the show
radio,
while
I don't
working.
know
Yeah.
if any of you listen to radio anymore. I listen to it in my car. I do. I've got CarPlay, so I can play podcasts or music or do a variety of things, which I do sometimes. And sometimes I'm just like, I want to listen to KCRW. That's just what I want. It's an independent station.
Go to an app, find KCRW and stream it, but the radio's actually easier still because.
But I think KCRW was the first of all the public radio stations to start, publishing their podcasts, and they were kind of legendary.
Yeah, no,
I think they were number one.
And many people are like, you really just listen to the FM 89.9 station? I'm like, yeah, I do. I mean, not 100% of the time, but if I'm in my car and I'm like, all right, I got to go, do some errands, and I'm like, Morning Becomes Eclectic starts in like 5 minutes. Like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's if you have a radio station that you like, radio stations are not dead. I understand that if you're a young person, you're like, yeah, they for sure are dead. But I would like them to live in some other form.
Well, and what's interesting is they are available as apps. They're available as streaming. They're available in lots of ways, and lots of people consume them. But 14% of 18 to 29-year-olds were consuming them over an AM/FM radio versus streaming, and that's the part that I found. That is the other part of this that I found surprising. I was pleased to see that podcast equals that now, but yeah, it's probably going to keep going down. You're right.
This is the point I also make. Anything that's legacy media, so AM/FM radio, over-the-air television, their audience, all it's doing at this point is literally dying because I always point to my own kids. They've never physically turned on a radio in their life, and they have no comprehension of scheduled over-the-air programming. They do understand scheduled, events online. They into that, but they don't want you. And so they're not this new audience that's all of a sudden going to drop in, which is what legacy media did. So
yeah,
we're in the right space. We're doing fine.
Yeah, because podcasting is growing every year that they've been doing this. So that's good. Now, podcasting here means not just audio, but also video podcasts that people listen to. This is a survey of listening. So a music video on YouTube counts as listening to music in this edition. So this doesn't say anything about the video versus audio format of podcasting, just that people are listening to more and more podcasts.
And
Even if they're not looking at a screen.
I wonder how many of them are in the position where, like, I work in the back of the kitchen and I really can't listen to anything else, but I can turn on the radio that's sitting on the counter and that's playing.
Well, wouldn't it be easier to like pop in your earbuds and listen on your phone to your music? That seems to be what most people are doing.
There's an advantage to local radio because, Sarah, you like listening to LA-based radio, so you would probably want, the advantage of like you work in a kitchen and you don't have to essentially manage it. You hear news, you hear music, you hear.
But I can't hear when I'm working. If it's I can't hear as well as if I had headphones in.
That is right.
Well, but
That's
it
true.
depends on where you work, right? So
You have to
at
sometimes
my
talk to
local
people.
corner store, they've got a TV. They played a lot of soccer games because the guys who work there like to watch soccer. Otherwise it's like. It's just some like random radio station. It's not even like a Pandora or anything. It's just like there's a stereo like up above, the ice maker. Sometimes I walk in and I'm like, country music, huh? And they're like, we don't know. That's just what's on. And sometimes they watch TV, but it's very much like these are not people who care all that much about all the other options. It's like, yeah, just turn the radio on. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is easy to manage. That is true.
It is easy to manage.
That is the thing we have lost. or I guess we are losing since it hasn't entirely gone away, is that sort of like, I'm in the city of St. Louis, and so I am going to listen to one of the 5 main radio stations. It's going to be KMOX or KSHE or KWK or something else, right? And there is a vocabulary that everyone in the city, whatever walk of life they come from, where they can sort themselves by saying, oh, I listen to KMOX in the morning and KSHE on my way home, and everybody knows what that means. People from outside the city don't, but everybody does. Now everyone's like, I listen to my own personal playlist. I listen to these podcasts. And there's less of that shared vocabulary of what's happening in that region.
100%. I also thought St. Louis would be a W, not a K.
Oh, no, it's the other side of the Mississippi. That's where the K's begin. In fact, they moved the K line.
Should probably
at one
look at a
point.
map.
You could always tell if a radio station was actually licensed on the Illinois side of the river because it would have a W, but most of them had a K.
Are they gerrymandering the K line to get more K's?
The one thing they haven't gerrymandered yet. Well, folks, if you're watching us on YouTube live stream, thank you. That is counting as listening to a podcast. And if you are doing that, do us a favor and click on the like button. Unless you hate us, but you know what? Even if you hate us, click on the like button. It'll just
hate watching or listening
like
is a real
us.
thing. It's fine.
Exactly. It will help us, and also, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. That way, you'll know when we go live.
All right, David Spark, the 2025 Black Hat InfoSec Conference finished up yesterday in Las Vegas. I know you were there all week and checking stuff out. So what were the big themes that stood out to you this year?
So the big theme and the bizarreness of this is it literally sucked all the oxygen out of the room, and that is AI. I mean, I don't think there was room for anything that was not AI.
I feel like you were getting the hints of this last year, but this is the culmination of it.
Right. But here's the interesting thing, and the thing I kept pointing out to people. So I was there shooting some video as well, and the cameraman that I had hired this year, I've been working with for the past 3 years, he is the one who introduced me to AI image generation tools, specifically Midjourney, 2 years ago at Black Hat. And I think about what it looked like 2 years ago and what it looks like today. And we've all sort of visually seen AI image generation tools improve kind of at the same rate. You know, slight differences here and there, but it's not like some of them stayed way behind like it was 2 years ago, and the other ones are looking great today. They're all moving the same rate. But what you've noticed with the tools, some are a little bit easier to manage, to sort of do the editing, and ever so slight differences back and forth. The problem is in cybersecurity, there is nothing as clearly visual as AI image tools to let you know that this AI security tool, and usually the ones that are sort of the most popular are these AI automated pen testing tools, and these AI tools that will help you sort of remediate issues in your security operations center or SOC. The problem is they all kind of make the same argument, these sort of two groups, and it's not clear who's better than what. Mm-hmm. And they're all kind of, just like AI imaging, they're all kind of improving at the same rate, not with one like way ahead of another. So, but it's, again, not clear. That's the confusion.
Yeah. So in other words, they're all promising something and you're not sure if they can deliver it, but you're pretty sure that all of them can't deliver it at about the same amount of time. Yeah, well,
they all can and can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember watching all these AI image tools. They all kind of got better at the same rate. No one was lagging way behind. It's kind of the same thing, but we really don't know. Now, the interesting thing, like I interviewed 3 or 4 different of these automated pen testing companies, and the way they talk about their competition is like, well, we do this and they don't do that, so that's why they stink. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it kind of seems like you're all doing the same thing. Like you're all taking advantage of these LLMs, which is great. You're all sort of trying to connect business operations to either the pen testing or the security operations center, and you're also trying to do these agentic moves of trying to remediate issues without having a human involved. But after that, it's not clear what's better than what. And so this is just really my call out. I don't know the answer to this, but there has to be some we're not going to get as good as AI image because it was clear as day to all of us, how it was improving. But there's got to be some way to tell this one's doing a better job than this one. And right now there really isn't.
Yeah, it's tough with pen testing though, right? Because if you set up a benchmark test, then you're going to know what they're good at finding that versus one of the things that makes a pen test really good is finding the unexpected. And that's hard to test for, I think.
Now, the other thing I want to sort of mention about Black Hat, I mean, it's a major showcase for vendors to come and, present their wares and speak to the market, and hundreds of vendors that come to this thing. And just, the cybersecurity vendor market space is somewhere between 4,500 and 5,500 vendors. And a tip of the hat to Richard Stennon, IT Harvest, because he's the only guy I know who's truly counting all this. But here's a stat I saw, which actually came out a while ago. 53% of all spending in cybersecurity by all these companies that need cybersecurity, 53% is being spent on 12 different companies. So the other 4,500 or whatever, they're working on the other 47%. 12 of them, and they're the ones you would think of, like CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks, Zscaler, Cisco, those kind of companies, and Microsoft too, for that matter.
Sure.
They're the ones consuming it all. IBM is still there. IBM.
You're seeing consolidation in security, but it's still not as much as in some other markets, right? Because 12 compared to some other markets is a lot. Look at operating systems for mobile, right? There's only 2.
Well, yeah, that's funny. Like some of those are just 2 or 3, and then they get 98% of the market. Yes. Well, the thing that's different about cybersecurity than other markets is that whole new categories pop up every year or every 2 years. Like there's a whole new category of vendor solutions that just didn't exist a few years ago. So that I think has a lot to do with it. And that's why you see consolidation, because a huge player like Palo Alto Networks didn't have a new solution, and it doesn't benefit them to try to innovate that. It's far better for them to just wait to see which one comes out on top and buys them. Now, speaking of consolidation, the big move that was made recently was CyberArk. That's a privileged access management company. They were bought by Palo Alto Networks for $25 billion, which was astounding given that their annual recurring revenue was only $1 billion. So it was 25 times that, which is kind of unheard of.
You said 25 million at first. It wasn't long ago where everyone would be like, well, wow, that's quite an
25
exit.
billion.
25 billion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they only make 1 billion. You don't usually buy companies for 25x.
For 25x, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pause while the audience guesses what CyberArk brought to the table for Palo Alto Networks. It's 2 letters. David, what was it?
I don't even know what
AI.
AI. Oh, AI. Yes, AI.
Yeah.
They all bring AI. It's just so there was barely thing. The other thing that I thought was interesting, and maybe you've been talking about on the show, is the fact that AI tools are getting so good and that their models are designed for survival. And there have been these cases of this attempt to shut down AIs that are failing. And it's literally right out of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that. Opening the pod bay doors. We are sadly starting to see this, and this is the grand fear, the Terminator fear of what AI is. So, don't want to stress everybody out, but that is a major concern that is happening right now.
It's all happening in places where they're trying to see if it happens or not.
Yes,
right?
Like, but we're seeing more and more examples of it. That's the problem. We're seeing more.
But we're not seeing it in the wild, so to speak, are we?
Not yet, but
okay.
That I know of.
That's
I'm
good.
Sure somebody else has.
Well, I mean, you were on ground zero for somebody wanting to tout that they saw it. So,
you know what? I refer to the RSA conference, which is the other big security conference, and this conference as the Scare the Crap Out of Me festival. Because what happens is I go and it's like, what? They can do that now? Wait, I didn't hear about that. Really more Black Hat than anything, because that's kind of the thing. They're telling you about the new techniques. But the sort of the last thing I want to mention on this is, because we all know about shadow IT or consumerization of IT, whichever term you use. This whole AI thing is kind of a next level of it, and it's moving at a bullet train speed. The reason is the companies are trying to catch up with the securing how data is being used in it. Pretty much every SaaS tool that is out there is trying to deploy AI within their system already. And it's usually just turned on by default. You don't really get a choice whether you want it on or not. Some are now sort of making that an option. And especially in highly regulated areas where all of a sudden content is being distributed on databases that they don't have anything about, know anything about, or control, that becomes quite disturbing. So really, the whole security industry is kind of playing catch up, trying to find mechanisms to stop this. And the business really wants to use AI. I mean, you're using AI for that matter, because they all see the benefit of it. So the reason AI was such a hot topic is they see it as a benefit, but they also see the attackers using it against them because they're using it to do essentially attacks at scale that are hyper-personalized as well. So it's a lot of excitement, a lot of scariness all at the same time. I wish I had more answers. I do not.
Yeah. I think everybody can kind of imagine like, an attacker using AI can automate things and do things faster and all of that. But one of the Black Hat presentations that I was reading about was about indirect prompt injection, which is a whole new vector where somebody, slips something into a calendar invite, sends it to your email address, it gets added to your calendar. When you ask Gemini to summarize your calendar, then it prompts Gemini to take control of stuff. How much talk of that was there at Black Hat?
I didn't hear a lot of it, mostly because prompt injection's been kind of a story that's been going on for some time. But the sophistication of prompt injection is increasing over time. And the more sort of agentic issues become, because like what you're talking about is describing sort of an agentic action where the Gemini takes action for you on something.
Yeah.
That is the more of that happens, prompt injection will be essentially become more and more successful because it will literally, without you knowing, things will be moving ahead of whatever it is that you don't want it to move ahead.
Yeah, literally in the one that I was reading about, it would cause Gemini to raise or lower your blinds every time you thanked it. So if you put like, thanks Gemini, suddenly your smart home would start raising and lowering the blinds.
Oh my goodness.
Which is more of a benign effect, but a scary one because they could do all kinds of other things.
I mean, depending on who's doing it and, what they want to see.
Or how bright it is outside.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's switch gears a bit here. But Dave Spark is a really fun Friday game, Pat Sajak of ours. All right.
Pat Sajak. I'm the Pat Sajak of Daily Tech News Show.
Well, I don't know. You could be any game host.
Pick any game show host.
Any game show host. Exactly.
Only the best. Only the best.
Only the best. Only the best. But yes, one of the things that you do really well is security games. We always have fun when you join us for Friday games. So, what do you have for us this time?
I have one for you. I'm going to share my screen right now.
Okay.
Here it is. Whoops. Will the real hack stand up? And I think the title says it all. And here we go. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to show you 3 hacks. Actually, I'm going to get a scoring mechanism. Everybody's playing. Len, you're playing too as well?
I guess I am. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, get on in here, Len. That's great.
You better
here
play,
we go.
Len.
We're going to have...
Because I'm going to trounce you.
We're going to have 3 hacks or names of hacks. And only one of them is true. So you have to decide which one of these 3 is true.
2 lies and a truth.
Yes, 2 lies and a truth. Correct. All right.
Okay.
Hackers hit a hospital's smart vending machine and rerouting 12K in patients' refunds. Hackers used an internet-connected fish tank at a casino to steal credit card data. Or C, a university's smart lights were hacked to clone student ID badges and access labs. Which is the correct one?
B.
Wow, and
it's B.
they're all possible.
Yeah.
I think it's B.
I think it's B. B for fish.
Brenzino.
Best joke of the day.
I'll go with A.
Okay.
Hey, like Fonzie.
All right.
Like Fonzie.
I got it. B for Sarah and Roger. A
Fine,
for
I'll
Len.
take C, just on the off chance.
All right, and the correct answer is it is B. Yes, the internet connected
All
fish
right.
tank. This is, by the way, this is the example that is always used when they talk about the detriment of Internet of Things. Like, who would have thought they would have gone through the thermometer? at the
Yeah.
on the internet. And
There-
that's what
there's
it was.
something
It was
about
actually the thermometer on the fish tank.
There's something about casinos that seem very, or I mean, they don't seem, they're just high value targets. But
Oh, yeah,
also,
that's
like
true.
an internet connected fish tank sounds like something a casino would totally have.
Well, and honestly, the examples are internet connected device led to this result in all of them, right? So
Right.
the kind of
Any of these
device
could
is
have been-
By the way,
sort of
I should know
distracting.
that I used ChatGPT for help on this, but we had to do a lot of editing on it because it was the
Yeah.
way it was. I'll just tell you the way that ChatGPT originally designed it. It was so clear which one was the winner, so we had to do a lot of editing to make it work. So
Actually-
it helped with some basic brainstorming.
I also
Bioca-
just okay. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, sorry, real quick. BioCow has a really good point. The internet connected thermometer is probably the cheapest of these, which means it probably has the
Yes.
the least amount of research into
Yes. It was
protecting
probably
itself
a cheap
against
pulse
vulnerability.
thermometer. That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. Go ahead, sir.
All right, next one. All right, our nursery nightlight sent 1.1 million bedtime audio clips to an unsecured analytics server. A children's smartwatch exposed 500,000 GPS logs due to a flawed mobile app with no login. Or internet-connected teddy bears leaked 820,000 user accounts and 2.2 million voice messages from an open database.
C.
correct?
I'm
That
gonna
goes
go
with
C.
Chang.
Teddy bear,
Oh.
see.
I'm going Teddy.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say A.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we got 3 C's and an A.
I feel like I heard C before. That's why I'm going with that.
All right. So the correct answer is C. So Len,
Right.
Len, you are still 0.
I
right
know.
now.
I am.
Sarah
A.
and
The rest
Roger.
of us are 2.
are-
oh,
Sarah
no,
and
I guess
Roger.
Tom's
No, not
one.
not Tom. Tom only has 1.
Tom only is the one.
I went C on the first one. I only pick C. It's my policy.
Yeah,
We'll
you're going
see
to be
how
right
well you
30% of the time.
See that?
How well you do, Tom. By the way, the other mistake that the damn ChatGPT made when we were trying to get it to help us brainstorm this game, it made every single one the answer A. I'm like,
Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah.
I wish there was a little.
I mean, if people are
variety.
guessing, though, they generally don't guess the same one every time. So maybe
No, because they
There you
think
go.
like, no, you're trying to
Yeah.
screw
I-
with me.
I-
I already had A last.
I tried to make a true and false quiz with ChatGPT, and they were all false or all true.
here we go. Here's the next one. A password manager bug exposed autofill data for 40,000 users who use browser extensions on public Wi-Fi. A single exposed HR portal leaked salary data and login credentials for 90,000 employees at a logistic firm, or a world record. Over 16 billion login records from major tech platforms leaked in a massive breach.
I'll go with C.
A.
I'm going with B.
I'm with you, Sarah. I'm departing from my C faring
Okay,
ways.
Yeah.
Sarah and Tom are B. Roger is
C.
A. Len, what are you?
I said C.
C. And guess what? Len is on the board.
Oh, I should have
All
stuck
right,
with C.
yes.
What's wrong
See,
with
I
me?
thought you were trying to
What? Tom, you had a good strategy and you screwed it up.
I know.
What is the company, by the way?
I
thought a world record. I was like, no, it's not
going
to be that.
So,
He's
I didn't
trying
go
to
with
lead us
C.
astray.
because I'm like,
this was actually
usually
a
when
recent
it's
breach, the number C. We reported on this like a few
usually
months
when
ago.
it's this big of a breach, it's not actually a breach. It's like a thing where people like guessed passwords from reused passwords and stuff. And so I was like, oh, it's a trick question because it wasn't
I think
actually a
it
breach.
Was multiple databases exposed, I think is what happened in this
okay.
case. All right, next one. A National Library's catalog system was ransomed and 600 gigabytes of manuscripts were posted online by attackers. A regional archive was locked down by ransomware with a $1 million demand to restore 300 years of scanned documents. Or a digital lending app leaked 250,000 patron records and fine payment history via a misconfigured backend. Which one's correct?
I'm going back to C.
I'm going to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B.
I'm gonna just go with
say
A.
B.
Okay. We got 2 C's, an A, and a B. And the correct answer is it is A. That would be you, Len, right?
No,
No,
that's Roger.
That's
Roger
me.
wants to-
That's
Roger,
this
I'm sorry.
line.
So Roger is in the lead.
the other Asian.
Roger is in the lead
I'm
with
like,
3.
who cares about manuscripts being posted online? They're all online anyway.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like the only thing I can think of is
They're all been pirated already. Anyway.
You know, I actually spoke to, we had the head of cybersecurity for, actually we did with multiple. We had MGM Films, also Fox Films on. And one of the things they do, because they, when they're releasing a film, there's all this desire to be, have the film released online, by hackers and whatnot. But
Yeah.
they also work with tons of different contractors. And like for example, the people who are responsible for composing the background music for the film, but they have to see the film to do their compositions. They have all these sort of, obviously they try their best to have secure mechanisms to transfer all this stuff, but they also do things like sending low res versions of it, only small portions of it. So there's never a time like the whole movie is being sent at once during the whole process. So they're doing their best to deal with it. To essentially sort of, if something gets revealed, it's sort of, there isn't so much of a bleed, if you will. We talk a lot about this in cyber.
Yeah, limiting the damage.
Maintain the blast radius, if you will. All right, here we go. A national tax portal leaked 12 million income records after a CAPTCHA bypass flaw went unfixed for months. A government site exposed 50 million citizens' data due to a misconfigured API. Or a voter registration lookup exposed 18 million names and addresses through an unprotected search cache.
C.
I'm going to go with A.
I'm going to go with B.
A and B both sound like something I've read about.
Yeah, I'm going to go with B.
I'll go with C.
Okay.
I'm going with A.
So, Sarah, you're
Tom
also A?
always does whatever I do.
So, AA, Len, you're
It's the
B or C? What are
sincerest
you?
I'm B.
form of flattery.
B, and Roger is C. The correct answer is, it is B, Len.
Darn it.
Len is,
These
it was
all
one
could
of
have
those
been.
two.
This all could have happened, by the way.
all right.
I believe all of
Roger with
them.
3, Len with 2, Sarah with 2, Tom with 1.
Ooh,
All right, here we
coming
go.
from behind.
All right, a fringe web hosting service leaked 15 million email records. Its CEO responded by reciting prayers live in a bizarre video call. Niche provider leaked 9 million user logs and held a live stream blaming the breach on, quote, internal sabotage. Or a fringe web forum was breached after hard-coded credentials were found in an admin panel footer. Which one is the real hack?
Ooh,
I'm saying A because I find it a very amusing story and I want it to be true.
I want to make Google VO3 versions of all three of these. I'll go with B though. That sounds familiar.
I'm gonna go with B as well.
Okay. We have an A from Roger, a B from Tom and Len and Sarah.
I'm going to go with A.
All right.
Yeah,
I
because
want
it sounds
prayers.
so fun.
Okay, so
Thoughts and
Roger
prayers.
and Sarah are A. Tom and Len are B, and the correct answer is it is A. It is. You got your dream, Roger.
Wow.
So wait, what was this bizarre video call then? Like, I want to know what the story.
was reciting
I didn't see the video
prayers.
call. I'll have to. I do have tagged. Sorry, I didn't pull. I should have pulled up all the stories for this actually, so we could have the image for them as well. Next time we do this game, I will have. We'll have the next slide be the image of it, so you can see what.
That'd be
story
cool. Yeah.
was.
Nice.
All
Good
right.
thought.
You know what? David learns another thing about making a game. Here we
Hey.
go.
You're very good.
All
at
right.
this.
Will the real hack stand up? Here we go. Number 1. Let's make this our last one right now. Roger is in the lead with 4. Sarah's in 3. Len 2. Tom 1. Sarah, you could tie Roger, or Roger, you could just pull it out ahead here. So,
Pull it out.
all right. A federal employee database was hacked in 2015, exposing background checks, fingerprints, and PII, that stands for personally identifiable information, for 21 million people. A cyber attack on a defense contractor leaked 12 million drone operator logs and internal security clearance approvals, or an insider sold access to a national ID card system, exposing biometric templates for 18 million citizens stored in plain text. Which one's the true hack?
B.
Is this all U.S. based?
No, it can be anywhere in the world.
Okay.
B. I go with B.
Roger's going with B.
I'll say C.
All right. Len with C.
I'm going to go with A.
All right.
I can't win anyway, so I'll just imitate Sarah again and go with A.
All right. So AA, Len, are you B? Correct?
I'm C.
No, you're
I'm
C.
B.
Roger is B, and the correct answer is it is A.
Oh.
Guys,
I was
Roger.
actually in that database, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, because of
All
a
right.
background check.
So Sarah and Roger tie for 4, and here, let me stop sharing right now.
I should be in that because I also had a background
Roger,
check.
How are we gonna
what
break
we
this
gonna
tie?
What are we going to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
We should
at
have.
this
We
point,
should
like,
get together and have a cup of rice.
Well, that would be fine, but I'd rather just win.
Oh,
I would
well,
rather
you know what we should do is we should go in on a bunch of lottery tickets together, and if we win, we'll split it 50-50.
One of my fists has your stickers from the store in it. One of them does not.
I'll take the hand with the watch on it.
All right.
That would be the right hand, Roger.
Well, you know, you don't know because people play
it's
these
backwards
games.
for you, though, as you look at
Okay.
it. But it's
Sarah,
his
are you
right
cool with
hand
that?
on your left.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do? Pick the other hand?
Pick the other one.
Yep.
Pick the. Yeah.
This is
Well,
Sarah.
no,
This
Roger's
is Roger.
It's already picked. Yeah.
Oh, well, if it is the left hooked, that would be what I want because I'm left-handed.
It's the left.
Sarah wins.
I had the stickers background, but there you go.
Oh, that was fun. David, you're good at this. You are.
Yeah,
good.
well done. Good stuff, David.
Yeah.
Thank you. I always appreciate you bringing the
Oh,
game.
by the way, I should
Michelle.
also mention, let me throw this out because I played this at the San Diego Cyber Group. Any of your listeners live in the San Diego area, I run a monthly San Diego Cyber Group now. We get a nice big crowd. Please come join us. We have events in North County and also down in the city. Just go to meetup.com, San Diego Cyber Group. Fine.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Please join
Very
us.
cool. Very cool. All right. Before we get out of here, we love to get your feedback. So let's check out the mailbag.
Mac Addict 89 wrote, "Not sure if this was ever mentioned, but when you turn on Teams AI transcriptions and recording features, everyone in the meeting receives a pop-up saying that transcription has been turned on and that by being in this meeting, you agree to terms and conditions of the transaction service. Our company uses it all the time, so I've seen the pop-up many times." This is our ongoing conversation about getting caught in the transcription, talking about, hot dogs or irrelevant things.
Kind of like what you do at the
during
beginning of the
meetings.
show.
Yes, exactly. Exactly like that. Now, David, you said you ran into something related to this,
I
right?
ran into something. This couldn't be more timely. So I spoke to a gentleman who just launched a business called Fora.day, and essentially what it is ostensibly designed for was all the information that is being discussed at your event, or not at your event, in your business.
Your
So if you're
meeting,
a
yeah.
C-level person and you have many departments, there's many conversations going on, you have no insight as to what's happening on. But if they're being recorded, that's great. And if you have AI that's summarizing that information and then connecting it contextually to other stuff, you could actually have a sort of a greater insight as to what's going on. Now, when he first introduced it, he was trying to use his own platform. But the problem is most companies were using their own platforms like Office 365 or Cisco or Zoom or whatever. And by the way, if you work for a business, yes, they get to record your information and transcribe it and stuff, per whatever the company policies are. But they do that, the alert warning you that this is going to be recorded and it can be disseminated. So maybe watch what you're saying. But what he is now dealing with, because this is what's a great concern, is now he's actually connecting to all these platforms like Zoom and Office 365, but also applying security policies to these issues. So whatever the company's security policy may have about what information is recorded, and if something is being sensitive said, they are dealing with that very issue. So something you're looking at, go check out that company. Pretty darn cool.
Indeed. Yeah. Thanks for bringing the knowledge. And hopefully, Mac Addict
Very
89,
timely.
Yeah, can get something out of this. Remember, if you ever hear anything we talk about on the show and say, "Oh, I've got the absolute solution. I know the answer to the question," anything like that, you can send it our way. feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. It makes our show better, so thank you in advance. Of course, if you're a patron, you can comment on anything that we post to Patreon as well.
Big thanks to Len Peralta for illustrating today's show. Len, what have you drawn for us today?
I was very interested, as you and I, Tom, well, all of us actually are old school podcasters. So I was very interested in that AM/FM story.
Yeah.
But it only took 20 years of podcasting and it's tied regular radio listening. Say, hand me my Metamucil. Because this is what it feels like. We've been at it for so long.
He's got the podcast pickle hat on.
Yes, that's an old. Yeah, that's going back to the old years. Yeah. So if you're an old school podcast fan and you'd like this, or the homage to Podcast Pickle, you can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Len, where you get this immediately if you back me at the DTNS Lover level, which is only $5. You can also go get it at my online store. And I just want to remind you that at my online store, I am selling. I have a few more of these exclusive Superman prints. The Superman Summer of Superman continues, and you if you order, you get not only do you get a vintage 1978 Superman trading card, but 6 lucky people will also get one of these stickers. These are vintage. You'll also get, since we talked a lot about AI, support human art sticker. You'll get those with your orders. So head on over to lenperaltastore.com and support human art.
Oh, Len Peralta, you are the best of the best. David
so
Spark, so are you. Let folks know, what you're up to with the CISO series, and once you get back home from
what we are up
traveling.
to with the CISO series. For those of you who
true.
don't know, Sarah Lane is also a phenomenal reporter for our show, Cybersecurity Headlines. So I know you get the Daily Tech News Show and you get the headlines through this awesome platform as well. But if you are in the world of cyber or want to know more about cyber, we actually modeled our show, Cybersecurity Headlines, based on what Tom was doing, with his blessing, I should all mention.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
But we're so thrilled that Sarah could come over, had some extra time to also be one of our reporters for Cybersecurity Headlines. But we have 5 shows on our network. We publish 10 episodes every week of all our different programming. So please come check it out. If you're in cybersecurity or you're cyber curious, please come join us.
Absolutely.
It
All right.
has been fun.
One of you is going to win the benighted title of person who submitted the title we're using for today's show. Who will it be? DTNS.showbot.tv, dailytechnewsshow.showbot.tv is the place to look. Our vote leaders right now are Clinton Woodward, know when to hold them and when to fold them.
I like the one, it's a little bit lower down, but the 18 to 29-year-olds are pod people.
That's a good one. That one's from C-Spawn, who also is tied for first with Black Hat and AI Tales.
I love the idea
Like
of
black hat and tie.
it wasn't that long ago. If someone was like, "Oh, they're a pod person," you'd be like, "Are they a frog?"
I saw Internet Connected Fish. I like that one too.
That one's good. Zoe brings bacon. Nice one. I'd rather just
then
win.
again, I like Roger's comment. Nobody made it a title. I'll pick B for fish.
B for fish was the line of the day.
And I'm sorry, that is the joke of the day. That was great, Roger.
I don't get it.
Because
There you go.
fish doesn't begin with B.
There's no
There you
B in fish.
I thought there was something more to it. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's funny for sheer stupidity.
Thank you, Roger.
Black Hat Friday is another good one. Sarah, what do we go with? These are so good.
We went with Black Hat and AI Tales from C-Spawn.
C-Spawn is
Very
the
good. Good
winner
job.
of everything.
Yay. Woo, 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 woo.
There is no B in C-Spawn either. Big thanks to everyone who supports us in all the platforms. LinkedIn, I know LinkedIn was having some trouble today, so I hope some people persevered. YouTube, thanks again to Tudo for the super chat earlier in the show. Very much appreciate that. Also, we got folks watching us on Twitch. PC Miles, he gave us some bits. So did Zoe Brings Bacon. So did Firelighter70. Appreciate all of that. And Charlie in Columbus resubscribed for the 69th month with Prime. Razin back for the 44th month with Prime. Firelighter70 also back for the 27th month, also with Prime. Thanks to everybody for supporting us on Twitch. And we got a raise from Thomas. Thank you very much, Thomas, for helping us out with a little extra. Yeah, that's very nice. We appreciate it very much. All right, it's Friday, which means 2 things. 1, I won't forget to read the credits. And 2, we published a new top 5 on the YouTube channel. This week, Roger came up with the 5 best fast food video game tie-ins. Kentucky Fried
so much
Chicken,
demand for that.
Taco Bell, Burger King. You got to watch it. It's good stuff, and it'll make you hungry. So go check us out. It's at Daily Tech News Show on TikTok and Instagram and youtube.com/Daily Tech News Show.
Just a reminder, we do the show live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. That is 2000 UTC. And you can find out more at dailytechnewsshow.com/live. We hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. We're back Monday with Justin Robert Young joining us. Talk to you then.
This week's episodes of Daily Tech News Show Live were created by the following people. Producer and host Sarah Lane. Host Tom Merritt. Host Rob Dunwood. Producer Roger Chang. Video producer Joe Kuntz. Producer at large Anthony Lemos. Social media producer and moderator Zoe Detterding. Our mods: Beatmaster, W. Scottus1, BioCow, Captain Kipper, Steve Guadarrama, Paul Reese, Matthew J. Stevens, aka Gadget Virtuoso, who's guesting on DTNS Briefing this weekend, and JD Galloway. Mod and video hosting by Dan Christensen. Music provided by Martin Bell and Dan Luters. Art by Len Peralta. Acast ad support from Tatiana Matias. Patreon support from Bobby Wagner. Contributors for this week's shows included Justin Robert Young and Scott Johnson, and our guest this week was David Spark. Thanks to all our patrons who make the show possible.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.